Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, or is it afternoon? Is it afternoon already? I guess it's afternoon. 1:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in sunny South Florida, where it's freaking hot, even though it says it's 88 degrees outside. Outside, it honestly feels like it's 100. I walked out there like at 7 in the morning. I don't know, between 7 and 8 in the morning, just to put out the garbage bags were still outside, or garbage cans were still outside. So I went outside to like put them in the garage. As soon as I opened the front door, it's like, woof, freaking sauna, man. I don't know. It's like, woo. It's like boiling out there. Anyways, it's May 19th, man. This month is flying by. It's funny because the week was dragging, but the month itself is going by so fast. So I can't explain it. I don't know how. Hold on, let me save this. Okay. Good morning, Brink. What's going on? Sunday fun day. Yeah, it's Sunday, man. And you know, I don't usually do coffee chats on the weekend, but the girls are out today. They're just out and about. Mom and the girls are out. I figure they're gonna be out for a couple of hours, and I was sitting here going through some online courses, looking at some stuff, trying to like schedule my week and where I want to spend my focus on this week, other than my Etsy shop and creating new products and whatnot. And I thought I really need to get back into some programming, some coding, and it would not be a bad thing to start freshening up on a lot of stuff that I've probably forgotten about. And so that's kind of what I was doing today, or I plan on doing today. Interesting enough, I've been watching this guy. What's his name? On YouTube, his name is The Prime Time. And I believe on Twitch, it's The Prime Agent. AGAN, I believe it is. Prime Agent. And man, this guy, like Brink said, to quote Brink, this guy is like stupid smart. It's freaking him. It's awesome. He is awesome, man. It's like he talks really fast. But I was listening to his story, and just let me sidestep. I love to do intros and kind of give you a little bit of a little story before we start. So here's the intro. And by the way, I think I need to put timestamps on my last live stream that we did. So I was watching this guy, Primetime, the Primetime. It's on YouTube. I'll put him in the description later. Anyways, he has a really interesting story, and he has, it's actually out there for everyone to see. He put it up like a year ago about his journey through basically high school and how he was addicted to not only drugs but also like to pornography, and he just had a hard time kicking those things, and he went through a tough time, I guess, with a relationship, and then had some depression. I'm giving you like the cliff notes. He had some depression. He basically, I believe it's like he thought of committing suicide at the time. Went through that and really just gave up on taking care of himself, or motivating himself. He said he graduated with basically like a 2 something at a high school, really didn't apply himself, didn't really care. He only had his mom around, didn't really have his dad. Went to college, kind of like just partied. He thought, got into college, so I might as well do something. So decided he was good with computers, good with video games. He thought he'd go into computers. Didn't really apply himself in there, did a lot of partying, did it kind of like just same old stuff, drugs and whatnot. And eventually he's mentioned getting out of it. And what's interesting is, and listen, I know it's Sunday, and I know probably you're thinking I'm going to do a sermon or something. I'm not. But what's interesting was that he said maybe he was feeling like a void. He was feeling like he needed some kind of direction, something. So he thought he'd turn to God. And he did. And he turned to God, and he said that didn't change him from he continued to do drugs. He continued to watch porn and whatnot. And it was like, that didn't like change it automatically. What he noticed, and this is the highlight. What he noticed was that he felt different inside when he did those things. He felt like a conscience. I can never say that word properly, but that little feeling that tells you that this is probably not for you. You know what word I'm talking about. I just can never say that word for some reason. Anyways, he felt that. So when he did the drugs or did the bad things, he started now feeling, which was different than before. Now it's like he was feeling like, this may not be for me. So he changed his friends. He stopped hanging out with those people. He started really spending time in what he thought he needed to focus on, which was school at the time. And he said he was doing like pre-calculus. I'm giving you cliff notes. He was doing like pre-calculus and then doing his calculus class, and he was failing them. I mean, he was really trying hard, and he was just not getting it. So he spent like 3 to 4 hours a day at the math lab, with a tutor. And a week or two later, he was on top. He was like, he understood it, something clicked, and he started getting the best scores in class. He was like on top of the class and everything. And from that point on, it was like something clicked in him, and it drove him to be better and to do better in these classes, realize he could do it. And he excelled in all of his classes. He excelled in all of his assignments. He just kept excelling. you know, did well and just, you know, finished his classes, graduated, and it was a bit of a struggle supposedly getting a job. He finally kicked the drug habit. His last habit he was having a hard time with was pornography and smoking. And at some point it just clicked and he just stopped it cold turkey. Both of those. Focused on getting a job, struggled with getting the right job, got a piece of shit job, but he got a job nonetheless. And overall, he just kept trying and trying. And eventually things happened and he ended up getting the job he wanted. He ended up working, I believe the last thing he's doing now is he's working on Netflix as a program or whatever they call it there. So he went to school for computer science, and man, talk about going through a journey to get there. And he streams on Twitch, he streams on YouTube, he does multi-streaming, and he talks about computer science. He reacts to stuff. He talks very fast, but he's really freaking knowledgeable, and his streams are doing really well. And good for him, man. Good for him on that journey. So it's not impossible. What's up, Guino? What's going on? Father Nord. Yeah, never. Bro, I've got too many issues to ever be the guy to listen to in regards to that. But what I do, it's not so much that I give out my opinion, my advice, and like, you should follow me. But I try to, like, if I hear something good or something worth passing on from someone else, I will pass it on. I'm like, yeah, I learned from this. Maybe you'll get something from it. And that's kind of what I do. So anyways, that's our intro for today. So I want to talk about SCUM today. We're going to talk about SCUM today. And maybe we'll even bring it up on the screen. Let me start my drink. By the way, I've been drinking these probiotic drinks. This is the second one of this style that I've had. It's what's this called? Dr. D's. Dr. D's. It's a organic probiotic, a sparkling probiotic drink. It says delicious gut support, and we all know I've got a gut to support here, so might as well get into this drink. So we'll do that. This one's pineapple. Don't know what that's gonna taste like. Let me take a little peek. Oh, it's not great, but it's gonna do. I just want something refreshing. Pineapple always sounds refreshing to me for some reason. Maybe it's because, you know, when I was younger, I used to love pina coladas. Anytime we went out, like, you know, I lived in Miami growing up, and we were out on the beach a lot, South Beach, back before it was what it is now. And I remember, you know, every time we were at the beach or at the Keys or something, I mean, I always ordered a pina colada. They were so refreshing. That to me is like the refreshing drink. And I still have my leftover iced freaking coffee this morning. It is what it is. Strongly considered buying a server to mess around with SCUM again. Nice. Speaking of SCUM, I had an evil thought today. Nice. There you go. I blame RayKit. You know, RayKit put out a video. We'll talk about that in a bit too, but he put out a video that made people think about certain things, about where the game is headed. And he kind of just like, he you know, he was a little honest. I think the video for some people wasn't strong enough, but listen, I think Ray is getting out there. I think he's getting there to the point where he's starting to say, I acknowledge the shit that people are saying about the game. And I think that's a good step. That's a good step. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But I'm going to talk about some server settings that they actually changed. And we didn't know about it because it's not listed anywhere in the patch notes. So let's get into that. By the way, as always, I don't expect you to be here when you're live. When I'm live. I don't know if you're live, but whenever I'm live, I don't expect you to be here. I know you got things to do. I know you got a life, unlike some of us. And it's okay. And you know, it's Sunday, so it's family day probably. And it's an unexpected stream. But I do like that you actually watched them on VODs. So I appreciate you guys that watch it on video later. And if you can, if you're not here, but you're watching this, hit that like button for me, because that really does help me. And as you know, I have been trying a little bit more focused on doing these streams, even though I only do a few a week now. And then as I start seeing these likes and that people like the content or they support it, doesn't necessarily mean you like it, then that makes me feel like, okay, you know what? That's good. I'm going to invest a little more time, make some more videos, put some videos out there, maybe play some more games, put some game videos out there. And just, that's kind of the feed that I've been going. And hey, look, I'm a very low standard kind of guy. I set the bar really low. If I get like 5 or 6 likes on a video that I do, or on a live stream, and we call this a podcast these days, then I'm like, okay, they liked that because I got like 5 or 6. So that's fine. I'm telling you, I'm setting the standard really low. Anything above that, I'm like, all right, we're good. More people are listening. But that's kind of it. And you know, the videos get some views. Obviously, SCUM videos get more views than anything else because people love to hear me rant. It is what it is. He was playing on a hardcore low loot server yesterday. I don't watch his streams as much. I just don't have time. Becoming one of us, nice. Playing a hardcore server, that's good. Yeah, I'd like to see him do something other than just PvP running around raiding. Brink is out there renting ships. He's in Star. Yeah, if you don't know, it's free flight week at on Star Citizen, and you can try out a bunch of ships. I actually want to go in there and try out a ship. I might get a fighter. Got to be honest, I skipped through the Star Citizen VOD. No worries. You know, Star Citizen's not everybody's cup of tea. In fact, it's not my cup of tea either. But we have somebody in the community that loves that game, and there was a community follower recently that did pay me a bunch of money. Not a bunch, but he paid me some money so that I would actually play it. So I have fulfilled that contract. I might play it again, but it's not exciting. In fact, we did watch, we watched Shroud and Summit G1 or 1G. It was at 1G, yeah. Summit 1G and this other guy named Burks, which is supposedly really known in the stream community on Star Citizen. Anyways, we watched them play yesterday a bit. I was talking to Brink, and Shroud freaking hates the game. He's like, I hate this crap. He was not happy at all. And then Summit is enjoying the game. He's in Star Citizen. He's becoming a pirate. He wants to like just steal people's stuff. So it's interesting. I'll see how that rolls out. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that's Star Citizen's a tough game. It's a patient game. It's a game you really need to be into it. And I'm really, honestly, I'm not too into it yet. It's so bad for me that I'm like, I'm going to go play Warcraft. So if that tells you anything, that game made me go and freaking sign up and play Warcraft. Yeah, I'm playing that Mist of Pandaria remix, and I might be playing Classics Cataclysm, which is out. We did move servers, though. By the way, FYI, real quick, WoW news. If you're playing WoW Classic or used to play with us, I disbanded the Wolfpack Guild. It is no longer there. And I actually moved my character because there's free character transfers right now from Maladath, which was the server we are on, which is completely dead. And I moved to Atiesh, A-T-I-E-S-H, I believe. So I moved there. It's a West Coast server, but we moved all the characters there. So I'm just letting you know. Anyhow, let's talk about this SCUM stuff. I'm gonna bring this up, and then I'm gonna bring also one of my old videos. I'm gonna turn down the music now because we are gonna get to the meat and potatoes of things now. Let's go to main. We'll do it on main. So I want to go through the updates first really quickly, because nowhere in this update, if I scroll through, can I make this bigger? I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's going to make the writing bigger. It actually does not, I don't think. No, it does not. So let me see. Maybe I can click on it and go to the URL. That would probably be the best way to do it. Let me click here. Okay, so I got the URL. There we go. Now we can make it a little bigger. Perfect. All right. So this is what I want to talk about this because I was on my stream, not on my stream. I was on my channel. Let me open my channel. Actually, let me just open my Google Studio here. And I'm going to find this comment. All right. There we go. So really quickly, I'm going to read to you this comment. This is from an old video. So a long time ago, I made this video. It's called SCUM version 0.95, unexplained horde server settings soon. And this was when we were trying to we were waiting on the server settings explanations. Well, recently I saw a comment from this gentleman, from this young man here. I'll make this bigger. Can we, there we go. I hate when I can't see my comments. Why can't I see my comments? It's like if I put this too big, then the comments go away, but I really don't want to see this stuff on the side here. But whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so here we go with the comment section down here. It says, I can only put, and by the way, I don't know if English is the first language, but Light Valentine 7625, thank you for this comment, by the way, because it brought this to my attention. I did not know about this. It says, I can only put on all encounters at 3. Can go more than 3. I don't know why. I think he meant he can't go any more than 3. And so I looked and see, it says that I basically replied, looks like the recent patch update has changed this to 3 max. Now, this was just a day ago, and I saw this last night. So when I looked in the video, and I was curious to see this, because I'm going to go to the timestamp where it says encounter horde settings right here. Perfect. 225. I'm going to lower down the volume because I really don't need to hear myself. But we basically talk about all the different encounter settings that they have. This was way back in, when was this? December 17th. Yeah, December 17th. And there was all these settings that they gave us. And what I found interesting was that all of these settings at that time when they came out, and all up till just recently, because, you know, I haven't played in a long time, is I realized that these can no longer be put to 10. They used to be, most of them were to 10 or 100 or anything like that. And as you can tell from the screen, I'm going to go to make this big for a second. If you can tell from the video back then, it allowed you to be able to put them to 10. This was, wow, what the hell happened to me in that face? Okay, don't mind the picture. So yes, so all the settings for encounter, the max number was allowed was 10 on most of them. I think some of them were 100 and things like that. It would depend on what it was. So there was a big difference that just came out recently, and I did not see anything that mentioned this changing. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about for a second. So I'll go ahead and close this. So when I look at the recent, because this wasn't the case before. So they made the max 3 now. Yeah. So let me look real quick first if there's anything that says anything about the encounters on their page here. And I'm going to actually do, can I do a search? I think I can search on here, right? Yeah, I can. So I'm going to do encounter, and there is nothing. So I don't know what encounters, maybe no. Okay, so that doesn't, how about max? No, it doesn't let me search within here. Maybe, well, I don't know why it doesn't let me search within, but who knows? Anyway, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to scroll through. This was the latest one. I don't see anything. Level design, art team, sound, quality control. Okay, nothing there. At the very top, the programmer says bug fixing, optimizing, working on movement, more bugs fixing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing about changing that. All right, so I'm going to move on to the previous one. So let's see, more. That would be this one. So the previous one talks about fixing issues. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't see anything. All right, so I'm going to go on to the one before that. This is May 3rd. And again, bug fixing. Something about pulling out chess. Nothing else. Okay. April 29th. Are these in order? I don't think they are. Yeah, let's try this one. All right, this is April 29th. Again, nothing. So, wait, there's another April 29th, so maybe in this one? Okay, so in this one, there's some information about high threat zones. This is where they gave us all these new stuff back, okay? I'm going to scroll through this real quick because we don't need to read. You guys have seen this. So I'm just going to scroll through here. I'm looking for an area where they talk about making a change. And this is the last one I'm going to look at because this is far enough back. I haven't seen anything before that, and I was reading them, and I don't think anybody in the community has told me, oh, by the way, did you know they changed it? So I do not see any Macs. I'm reading through this really quickly. Server settings. Okay, let's see. No. Abandoned bunker. No, nothing. This is about raids. This is like raid protection. So I'm going to skip through that. This is vehicle destruction, flying vehicle detection log. Nothing at all. And that's it. Okay. So I think having done that, because I don't want to be a jerk and be like, hey, they didn't do this, and then find out that they did. So yes, I can now clearly state they made a change on server settings that affect the max number in the encounter settings. So let's go ahead and go into the game for a second, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I don't think did you guys know about this? I don't think you did. I'm waiting until this comes up. And by the way, like again, the only reason I know about this is because somebody said it in my video saying, hey, you can't change it to 10. You're lying. So I had to actually update that video in the description and put update, and I put today's date or yesterday's date. And I said, hey, by the way, just so you know, you cannot change that. So I made sure I made that server setting. All right, I'm going to continue on this. This is single player. It doesn't matter. We're not going to really play right now. We're just going to look at this. So originally the max level on most of these settings was 10. All right, I'm going to go ahead and server settings. It's world. And then I go to the next one, and here it is. It's under NPC. It's under world and the NPC tag. So this is all vanilla, by the way, right now, at least. And here's the encounter-based character amount multiplier. Now, in the video, I showed, did I close that video already? I think I did. Yeah, I did. In that video, I showed that you can go to 10. So watch. You are not allowed to go to 10. Okay. Is it 9? No. 8? No. 7? No. 6? No. 5? 4? 3. It's 3. Okay. Let's go to this next one. Oh, by the way, it's not 3.1. Nope, it's 3. 3.0? Yes. It's 3. All right, let's try this one. Ready? Hold on. Oops, sorry. 10. Nope. 3? Yes. There's 3. This is 3. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So all of these, I can't remember what this was. This is the encounter character respawn, the multiplier. Okay, this one's still 100. Okay. I don't know. I left it at 1. I'm not saving any of these, by the way. I'm just looking. Same thing with this one. Yep, 3. Oh, man. All right. So I'm not going to go through the rest of these, but as you can tell, there has been a change. They're no longer able to go up to 10, which, by the way, let's be honest, it was such like a weird range. Like we were even talking about this. I believe we talked about this in one of the videos, but it's like, what does that actually mean? You know, how much difference is it up to 10? And so that, I think, like is made no sense whatsoever. But now knowing that it's 0.3, because I don't think you can do negatives, because a negative, by the way, is -1 is a default value. But if we did -2, it does not allow you to do that. So -1, I don't think in this one it's a default value, but let me just put it. Nope, they don't have a default value here. Default value is 1. But so it's 2, it's 1.5, 1.4. Yeah, so anything in between. So 3 is your max. And that, at least that makes a little bit more sense, but at the same time, it's like, what is the difference between 1 and 3? And then this is easier to test, obviously. But yeah, there is no information on this whatsoever. None at all. 3 might be the point where it wasn't breaking yet. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And that's kind of what they were doing. They were realizing that whenever anybody put this up to 10 or anything above 3, it started to give problems. Base character amount multiplier. So 3 seems to be their sweet spot. Interesting enough, though, I'm surprised that they haven't talked about this. I mean, maybe it's on their Discord somewhere, but you would think with all the patch notes communications that they said they're going to be doing, that they would be letting us know in the patch notes. But that did not happen. So I'm sorry. There again goes to what I've always said. They do not communicate well. They make these changes, and then people are like, oh, this isn't working anymore. What the hell happened? Yeah, so for anybody that was a private server owner that had this above 3, I have no idea what it did to them. I don't know if it changed it automatically to 3, or if it set it back to default, or if it just broke because it was set to something it was not supposed to be. So that's something to think about. They're definitely restricting it because anything higher breaks and causes server issues. Yeah, I agree with that. Gonna log on to Skinny since he must only have been able to max to that. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening on his. Rest in peace to Meat Grinder. Yeah, I'm curious to know what the like Luthias, if he's even noticed this or talked about this. I'm gonna check his videos real quick. Logging off of Skinny's because it's nighttime. Oh yeah. Anytime I tested anything above 3, it for sure broke. So I guess 3 was the sweet spot. And again, this is great to know now because of the fact that we all realize that anything set to higher than 3 was a problem. Like if we were trying things at 5 and freaking anywhere up to 10 just to see, but we were realizing that things were just breaking all over the place. But this is a great example of when the developers made this change into the game, why the hell did they set it to 10 as a max? If they weren't testing it to that, they should have just been like, okay, 3, 5, even 5 would have been good. But so this is them reeling back going, oh shit, we screwed up. Let's try to fix this. Well, we don't know how to fix it, but we can at least minimize the amount that can be maxed out to. And that's kind of what's happening. If they communicated that change, they would have had massive blowback. That's probably why. But wait, why not be transparent? Why not be like, hey, we screwed up. 10 was way too much. We realized we had to bring that number down because it didn't make any sense. And we decided it's between 1 and 3. That is a good, happy space. 3 is the max right now. And we're testing to see if maybe you can go up to 5. But 10 is impossible. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Admit that you screwed up. But they never do. And that's why people get mad at people like, you know, RayKit sometimes, when RayKit's like, they're doing a phenomenal job, guys. Give them a break. They're doing great. No, they're not. Let's just be honest. They screwed up. It's okay. Screw-ups lead to success. Fails lead to success, right? So it's okay to admit that you screwed up. This is why I kind of liked when RayKit was like, we're going to watch the RayKit video, by the way. We're going to react to it. I want to talk about it because I did comment on that video, and I'll talk about what I commented. But anyways, I wanted to let you guys know on this that the max encounter setting for any of those that used to be 10 is now 3. I know they didn't tell you. I'm sorry. I apologize on their behalf that the developers and the person in charge of putting the notes out there, I don't know who it is, did not let us know that they made that change. So, but that change is made, FYI. And by the way, it is to be more stable. So that is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just wish they would have told us. Be a little bit more open and honest about it. Meat Grinder is still 10 times puppet damage, though, I guess. No. The damage itself did not change. Let's discard these changes. The damage can still be 10. Damage has not changed. This is only encounter based. Sentry damage can be all the way to 10 as well. Item decay can be all the way to 10. Food decay as well. All of that all stayed the same. I don't know what's it doesn't matter. Discard. Yeah, all of this other stuff didn't change. The only thing that I noticed that changed was the encounter. All these encounter settings that used to go to 10, they go to 3 now. That's it. All right, so we know that. Puppet health. What was the puppet health set to? Hold on a second. Is that the top? No, that's not. Let me look for the puppet health. I forgot where that's at. Let's see. It might be here. Yeah, puppet health. Puppet health is set to 100. Yeah. Puppet health max is 100. Which I have no idea why anybody would do that, but okay. What was it? I don't even know what was the what the hell would you set that to anyways? Puppet health 1. that's what it is. I mean, yeah, you could send it you could do 5 times. I don't think anything above 10 would be stupid. Would just be crazy. Yeah, I guess I'd rather play 3 times than setting the encounters to 3 times rather than higher and then they're being broken. I agree. What's up there, Callie? Good to see you. And Wrath, hello. Good morning. Good to see you, man. I thought that I smelled a little scum. Nice. Yeah, so anyway, so that's the change that I wanted to talk about, just in case you didn't know. We need to look at this video and react. Can I go back? Okay, let's quit the game. By the way, last time I played, I messed up my eyes. As you can tell, the outsides is red because I was throwing tear gas, but I couldn't see the tear gas, so I didn't know it was there. So there was that. Okay. Oh, we'll play it another time. So let me go ahead and quit the game. Let's go ahead and react to this video. Was playing on a server testing between 5 and 10 and was pretty fun, but it was an eating sim, so I left. Oh, yeah. Yeah, people need to really work on those settings when it comes to changing the eating value. Yeah, it goes like you have to eat all the time. They need to work with that. That's like the default one is really bad. It's like I don't want to be constantly eating and drinking in the game. I don't eat and drink that much throughout life. Well, if it's pizza, I'm eating all the time. Where am I? I know one day I'm going to stop being so lazy and actually set up these buttons on my Stream Deck, but ever since I made the change on the systems, I just have not done that. Let me look for RayKit's video. I want to react to that. I did make a comment on his video as well as on his Twitter. And I made a couple of comments on SCUM recently. All right, I'm finding it. Give me 1 second. Videos. Okay. All right, I got his video here. We're going to get that ready. I also want to see, let me find Twitter. Tommy had put out a post and I actually responded to that. Where's the notifications? Right here? Okay. Okay. So let's look at the Twitter first. Let's go to main. Main's a lot easier to do than the windowed view. Okay, so first things first. Obviously, this is my notifications right here, as you can tell. RayKit, appreciate that, mate. Thank you. There you go. I've got to do his accent when I talk like him. I try, although I sound angry. So we'll look at his in a second. But this was his. He put this out there first, which was, hey, go watch a video. And I said, good video, good questions. I actually said I'm heading over to watch his video first. I'm very interested to see what he has to say. And I said, good video, good questions. You should do more of these. Fame points, yes. We'll talk about that in a moment. The game has lost its original vision of surviving in a prison or island. The GDD, which is the game design document, is in the original support pack. And I put where it is. And by the way, if you don't know that, if you own SCUM and you have the original support pack, because it came with like 2 of them originally or something like that, there is a file under C program files, x86, whatever, your Steam apps, common, SCUM folder, and under extras, there's a bunch of little files, some PDFs, some images, some extra things for you to look at. There is actually a GDD file in there. It's a PDF. And it actually goes through, I keep saying actually, it goes through all of the original ideas of what the story, what this game was going to be like, and so forth. And they have really gone away from that. So I wanted to make a point that to bring that out there, to bring that up. So that was the reason why I even mentioned that. So that's kind of the comment that I went in there. If I go back for a moment on another video, another post that Tomislav put out there, that they were talking about whether to use money or gold. Money, which is /gold, or fame points as the respawning thing. And I actually put in, it's true, money and gold are too easy to get, and they nest up for unlimited respawn. Fame in its current default is harder to acquire, which makes it worth working for, which is true. The default for fame is really hard to get. You have the option in server settings to raise that up so that you can get it a lot faster, but it's, as a default setting, it's hard to get. You have to really work at it, which is good. It gives you something to do. And I said, however, all of this is meaningless if you are considering selling gold or fame points in microtransactions. And interestingly enough, Tomislav actually liked my reply. He didn't. I thought they were gonna trash me, and they didn't. And here's another one that he actually liked as well. I said, traders' availability should be based on fame alone. Money should be removed from the game entirely, and I really do believe that, by the way. Allowing players to trade in scavenged goods for items needed from the traders, assuming their fame is high enough to warrant the ability to trade, and a real bartering system. That's what I said. So I stand behind those statements because of the fact that that is where the game should have stayed at. And we're going to watch this video, and I want you to tell me what you think. But to me, that's kind of what I really feel that SCUM would benefit from. If they made the traders kind of optional, or allowed us to, well, I know that there are some settings in Trader that you can turn off certain things, that you can also limit what they sell, limit what they buy, things like that. I know that's there. It's complicated as shit for the average user to do, but I know it's in there. But what I'm saying is that I think that we need to take away money altogether. There shouldn't be any SCUM dollars. There shouldn't be any kind of like currency in that format. I think that it should be a bartering system. And therefore, if it was a bartering system, I would say that based on your fame points, and here's where you can change this in server settings if they allowed this. If there was a bartering system, I think that you should be able to give certain items a weight or value so that when they turn that in, that is worth something more than, let's say, for example, you turn in a gun versus turning in a can of like beans. Maybe one of those is valued as more, so that when you barter, that means that value is going to be more. You can buy more things. You understand? So I think that's the way that it should work, instead of, hey, this is worth, $50. It just doesn't make sense. But I know this is not going to change. I think about that as, do you remember the movie, The Book of Eli? It's not religious, but there is a Bible in it. The Book of Eli is with Denzel Washington. It's about a post-apocalyptic world. And one of the scenes shows him going to charge or fix something that's like, I believe it's like an iPod, maybe it's an iPod. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now, but he goes to this town where there's a guy that repairs things. And so he wants to charge his iPod, because obviously there's not a lot of charging, but there's ways people are able to charge things. They figured it out. So in order to pay, he has to barter with stuff that he has. And one of the things that is like really sought after, obviously toilet paper would probably be one, but wet naps, the little packets that you get at different restaurants. When you go to a restaurant, especially a barbecue eating place, they have wet naps. They have little packages, and he pulls those out, and the guy's like, oh yeah, these, and he gives them like 4 of them. And those are worth a lot, because guess what? In a post-apocalyptic world, there is no, finding soap and taking a shower is probably not something that you'll be able to do very often. So these little wet naps are used to refresh yourself, like underarms, maybe in your area down there and stuff like that. So those things become valuable. And therefore, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to like the bartering system. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments, but I see the one that says use caps like Fallout. Bottle caps to me is not a, listen, I know it's the currency that is used in Fallout, and there's a reason why they went into that currency, because it's a broken down world, and what they found a lot of remaining was caps. Having bottle caps in SCUM would not be a good bartering system or a good currency, because of the fact that by lore, there is not a broken down system that just left a bunch of bottle caps around for you to find, and that being the currency. No, it doesn't work with the lore. But what does work is that you are going to find things that somebody else may need, and it's valuable to someone else. And that's what I think the trader should have been. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Let's see what else. I'm trying to look at your comments and make sure that I didn't miss something. I hate when I miss something. I commented to a comment by Casual War Dog. Okay, that's in Guino says that's in RayKit's video. We'll look at that in a moment, see if we find it. Money can be replaced by the quest coins they teased and puppet cash. I just don't really think there should be any kind of cash. I really don't think there should be cash like dollar bills or anything like that in the game. Maybe gold coins or gold items, like maybe like a coin that's gold that's worth money, but that's only because gold is going to be valuable to someone else, although it's not going to be valuable as far as like what value would gold have in a post-apocalyptic world that no longer has dollars. It's a precious metal. Things could be made out of it so that you look more like, look at me, I have a lot of gold. I have a gold, gold gun or whatever. So maybe in that sense, because it's a precious metal, it's worth something. It's kind of like diamonds. But as far as it being a dollar value, I don't think it would be. That would be strong. And I'm just, by the way, I'm making like just thinking ideas in regards to how it would work on a prisoner island. What are some of the things that in a prison are I've never been to prison, but I've watched enough movies. But I'm thinking cigarettes, food items, things like that. Things that maybe a sewing kit. Well, obviously you can't have any dangerous stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Things like that. Maybe it will, and the trader zones turned into quest hubs. I hope the traders turn into quest hubs, and then they'll be like, hey, we'll give you some skins or some meat. That meat is a huge thing, by the way. In SCUM right now, it's really hard to come across hunting, like find animals to actually get food from. And maybe fishing is a better option because you probably can fish more than you can hunt. And so I think that's one of the things, like there's no longer birds. You can't find birds to shoot down and take their meat or anything like that. So I think that's something that the traders can offer. But I don't like the fact that you can just go with money, like if it's a freaking supermarket, walk over and say, I'd like to buy these steaks, thank you very much, and here's the money. I don't like that. Maybe the results of the quest can be something along the lines of, and we'll give you 5 pounds of meat, you know, or a freaking cow or bear, and you can skin it and whatever. I think that would be great. I mean, we could start growing sheep or something. That'd be even better. But that's kind of what I think as far as like the reward stuff. Remember when we used cigarettes for currency in the game? Did we do that? Was cigarettes being purchased? Like, I remember I used to give people money for bringing cigarette packs. That would be a thing. That makes sense. Especially the fact that cigarettes now help you. If you smoke, you get your stamina back or something, which is really weird, but it's true. It gives you a high. So it brings your stamina back. That would be something you can trade for. By the way, Troy, good to see you, man. How you doing? Good afternoon. I said good morning earlier, by the way. I'm completely off because it's like 1:50 in the afternoon here. Yeah, but the point is, use something as currency and lore like Fallout did, not just money. Correct. But I don't think there's something that is abundant in SCUM. There's not something that you have found a stockpile of. You know what I mean? So that would be something that you can use as a currency. That's why I'm saying the thing that becomes currency are the items that you find and how valuable they are to other players. Like, for example, thread. Thread is something that is a high commodity. I messed up on that word. But yes, it is. It's something that's really needed because you need sewing kits to fix your shit. Soap. You got to be able to wash your stuff that's radioactive or dirty or whatever, because the dirtier clothes are, the crappier they get, and they get messed up, and you need to be able to wash them. Soap is another high commodity thing. If you find soap, hell yeah. You never know. You can trade that out. But that's what I'm talking about. Those kind of things could be used as currency. What's going on? What happened? Oh, we started talking about SCUM only because I wanted to point out that there was a change that they made to server settings. The encounters used to be able to, certain encounter settings, a lot of them, used to be able to be set to max of 10, but they're now maxed out to 3. But there was no explanation or anything, no information about that on any of the patches. That just happened. Puppet ears. I remember puppet ears used to be, but like, what would be what? Yeah, it's. I know that that's something. There's a lot of puppets, therefore puppet ears. But what is the use of puppet ears? Unless they're being used to like eat them or something. Like, what would people actually use them for? And who's to say that they won't start killing people and taking their ears off and then mutilating them and say, these are puppet ears? I mean, gold teeth? I think gold would actually be okay. Because gold could be used for other things. Gold is a good electric conductor. There you go. Like, you can use that. Animals are easier to come by now. I haven't seen any, man, the times that I've been on. And I know people are going to say I've been on enough, but I've been on enough to that I should come across some animals. And the whole thing about now I have to, I hear them over there. Let me go track them and find them. I don't really care about that. I just want to, if I see a freaking animal 100 meters away, I want to take my scope out and I want to go hunting the old fashioned way. I don't want to be a freaking tracker. That's not what I signed up for in the survival world. I'll play something else if I want to be a tracker. Again, just my opinions. Since you last played consistency, since you last played consistently, that is, animals are way more common now. I'll have to listen. I'll try again. I'll play and see. I'll run in for a couple of hours and see what happens and see if that has changed for me. And if it has, maybe it's a server setting. I don't know. Maybe I have to raise that server setting up. And then I'll come back and I'll talk. Antibiotics. That's another really good one. Having antibiotics in SCUM is important. So I think, yeah, like going to the hospitals and kind of raiding those places and then being able to like trade those in for currency. Oh, okay, here it is. What if we had a credit line? And I'm not talking about credit for dollars, but credit for value. So what if you turned in these things and it raised your fame points, and in turn it changed how much things, in other words, because you had a lot of fame with these people, with the traders, the value or the ability to be able to trade things, value of something would go down for you, so you'd be able to get things a lot easier. And what if they did set a credit line, like this guy has this much credit towards things that he can get, instead of not a dollar value, a value of the item. This item is valued at whatever you want to call it, 10 credits, and you have credits. Maybe they're puppet ears. You're right. It could be puppet ears. Hey, I got puppet ears. Each puppet ear is worth as much. It's change. Honestly, it would be a big change, and it would be something that would have to be a big overhaul. And I don't think anybody's willing to do that. So we're stuck with scum dollars and the ability to just buy shit whenever we want it. I hate play. Okay, this is Brink has always said this, and it's a valid point, but I actually do like it in a server there where it is managed better, or where it's managed. So hold on a second. So Brink does bring a good point. So he says, I hate player-only economies, though, because it's such a huge time sink. I don't mind the traders, but they're too accessible and easy in current state. Okay. So Simply Survival is a server that I started playing on when I first started playing Scum, and I hated the official servers. I found Simply. Simply was a great server back then. This was back when it was what was it? 0.6? It was 0.6, I think, at the time. Anyways, it was before 0.7. I know that much. And we had a great community. There were 3 main trader people. They were players that were playing as traders, and they would have items that they would go out and they would have availability, and you could buy these items or trade with them, with the items that you had and that they needed for these items. So there was a huge player economy. This was before we had traders, and there wasn't a bot system at the time where you can just buy things off of the bot. So it really worked out really well. And there was always a trader on at some point, because there were multiple people that worked with that trader or were part of that trading unit. There were 3 main traders, and they were spread throughout the map. And it worked really well. And it also worked that people would trade within each other. Like, hey, I have these items. Anybody need this? I need it. Whatever. All right, we'll meet up over here. And it was a player versus environment, PvE kind of server. So that worked out. The problem that happened with Simply at that time, and that I witnessed at the time, I used to be an admin on there. I think if I go back, I could be an admin again. But anyways, one of the things that turned out was there would be people that wanted to set themselves up as traders and then control whatever price they wanted to. Like, there was a guy back then that was trying to really hustle with vehicles, and he would go out and he would like just basically take the vehicles that spawned in, and he would hoard them over to his location, and then he would make the vehicles available to people for purchase. That's okay to a certain degree, assuming that there was only a certain number that were allowed to be kept by a trader. But the amount that he was selling them for was extremely high at the time. And that made it kind of different, because it was difficult for people to come up with that money or even items to get for it. And it was his way of making a lot of money or getting the items that he wanted. And it was just it wasn't good. It wasn't a good business that way. And then so people started, price gouging, and it was bad. But other than that, it did work at the time. It's just a problem when there's no established player traders, and therefore you don't, like, If somebody happens to be on, then yeah, and then you have to meet up with them and where are they at, and it could take you a little while. So yes, I understand how now it's a little bit more difficult to do. Nobody just plays as a player trader anymore. Player economy is okay. I have this thing to sell, wait for another player to want to trade, drive halfway across the map to a trade area. I ain't got that kind of time. So one of the things that we used to do was we had an admin center, and there would be a center in the middle of the map where that's where people would go to meet up to trade things. And that's kind of the way it was. Wherever you were, you went to the middle of the map and you sold at that location. That was one of the ways that you can do it. But yes, it is freaking annoying. The other thing that Simply did this, and this worked for a while also, was that they had a channel in Discord for want and need. So people could put in, hey, I'm looking for this item. Do you have it? And then people like, yeah, I have it. And then they would talk offline and they would set up times so when they would meet up. So there was that as well. And you know what? I did this in EverQuest. In EverQuest, I used to do trading for items online and offline and whatever, and it worked out fine. It was just a matter of coordinating. And EverQuest was a big freaking world. My lips feel, I'm having, maybe it's because I'm combining these two drinks, but my lips feel numb. So I need to stop combining these drinks. But I'm having like that numb feeling on my lips right now. Yeah, let me go grab a piece of bread or something because, yeah, I feel like my mouth is going numb from these drinks. Maybe it's because I was combining the two of them together. That's probably not a good thing. One is like coffee, caffeine, and the other one's probiotic. And who knows what's in that. We'll have to see. All right, let me read a couple more comments. I know I'm getting in the weeds here, but I'm kind of falling behind. And we still need to look at this RayKit video, which I have up here. Let me switch over the screen first, since I'm trying to go through this the comments, and we'll get to the video in a moment. Animals do spawn randomly now too, and not just the hunt mechanics. Haven't seen it, but I'll have to check that out. I'll take your word for it. In any group of people, an economy will emerge after time. Anything agreed on can become a medium or exchange. Yeah, I like that though. I think that's the organic way of trading that just evolves. An economy just gets created. That medium doesn't have to have a technical use. Or puppet teeth can be used. Yeah, that's the other thing. Economies emerging is fine to me, but don't force me to do it. I like that they don't force me to do it like they do on Simply. Blocking core game mechanics to force players to trade is gross to me. But see, I think that there is a side of, and maybe that's why that server is not good for you, but there is a side of players that don't believe in the traders. Like they don't think the traders should be so easy that you go out, scavenge a bunch of shit, go to the trader, sell it all, get a bunch of money, and then buy everything you need from them. That's a single player game. That's what that is. That's a single player game where you go out, you hunt for shit, you go to the trader, sell your stuff, buy what you need, go back out, build your happy home, and then just go out and scavenge up more, be a hunter, be a farmer, be a whatever you want to be. And that's how you play the game. That, I think, takes away from the game, from the whole survival aspect. If you can buy everything at Walmart, then what the fuck? You're not even surviving. So that's where I think that's, there's two ways of looking at it. Somebody that is wants to be a single player can do that. That's definitely a way to play it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I used to play like that a lot too. But I think that having the traders buy everything and give you everything, sell everything, is just, that's no longer survival. I think that should never have been a core mechanic in the game. Explain why something puppeteers could be used. Yeah, you guys have good arguments, by the way, on puppet ears and puppet teeth, why they would be used as currency, or how they can turn out to be like currency, which in some places it can be. I mean, that's a realistic thing. Unfortunately, selling items to traders for money is now a core game mechanic because it's for respawn. Well, I think that's where they should change that. And that's why I'm saying fame points should be used instead of money for spawning. This conversation is moot if they don't change the spawn mechanic. Correct. Do you think it's a big ask to make them to make teeth, for example, as currency? I think it becomes like Guino was saying. I think it's something that if we were allowed to turn off money as currency, or to tell people, hey, guess what? On this server, money means absolutely nothing, and you can't use traders. Our currency is puppet ears or puppet teeth. And if you did that on your server, people that played on your server would get used to that and would be okay with that if that's what they choose. But if people be like, oh hell no, I don't like Brink is saying about Simply. He goes in and he's like, oh hell no, I can't use traders here, forget it, I'm out. And that's okay. So I think that if they gave private server owners the ability to turn off traders or to turn off currency like dollars and make something else to currency, that would be good. Make traders trade for trade items. That would be good. I mean, to me, yeah, my lips are numb. Like if I went to the freaking to the dentist and he just gave me a numb shot. I don't know what I did. Different kind of animal teeth have been used as currency though, ancient times. Yeah, no, I agree. I honestly don't see anything wrong with that, because we can look back in history and look at so many different things that we use as currency in certain places. Anything could be of value to someone. It could be a driving economy. They still have a car lot on Simply, and that pisses me off, even though they're cheap. Yeah, I think it's also Simply is also a great place for beginners to learn, because I think that's one of the things that Simply prided itself on. It had a lot of people that were starting out of the game, and they had a hard time trying. Like back then, some people had a hard time finding cars, and they needed a little help. Hell, we had an admin center where we used to have cars. If anybody needs a car, there's some cars there. Come and get them. Especially when people are learning the game. Players get monopolies though, and admins usually promote them. Some admins do. Some admins try to control it. I remember we tried to control, like we would talk to traders and we'd talk to people and try to like be like, okay, hey, there's no problem in you doing that, but we kind of try to follow a rule here, and this is what we do. And I know we tried to do that. It's never a free market economy. Nice. Believe in the trader or not, it's a core mechanic to respawn. No, right now it is. You're absolutely right. Right now it's definitely needed. And I get that, but I wish they would change that. Traders need to be more strict with stock. Yeah, you can change. Yeah, but then what's the point? You can change a trader in the settings to not have any stock altogether, but then there's no point for them to be there. It is in the settings to sell the way you want. The last time I set the game. No, I agree. It is there. It's very complicated. The average person would not understand how to set up their trader that way. It is a very the trader settings are not as easy for most people. Yeah, give me a second. Let me go get something. I'll be right back. Before my freaking lips fall off my face because I feel like they just went numb. Okay. Oh, I got rid of that. So I got rid of the coffee and the probiotic drink. I gotta look into ingredients later, but I guess drinking both of those caused me some problems. Stick to good old-fashioned water. And I'm having a ham sandwich. Milo! Ah, shit. Well, he's doing his job. If somebody comes to the front door, he starts barking. That was the Amazon person. So, all right, we're gonna watch this video. Let me just get your last final thoughts here. I'm sorry, I walked away. Yeah, guys, I got some kind of numbness on my mouth, and I think it was from those drinks combination. So I'm just gonna drink water and eat my sandwich, and hopefully I don't pass out. But if I do, yeah. Well, there's that. All right, real quick. I was going to say this. Trailers need to restrict blah 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 blah. There's a setting. I was going to say this, Guino. When Guino says this, I'm going to repeat what he says. He says, "Don't die, and you don't need to worry about respawn if it's survival after all." That's what I was going to say. Just don't die. Maybe there's a timeout. You die, you time out for a little bit, it automatically respawns you somewhere else. Maybe we can turn off the respawning. That would be something. Yeah, that's not easy for the normal gamer. Nice. I miss fame points for spawning and getting fame points for puppet kills. Yeah, I think that's the point that people are talking about lately. No more fame points from puppet kills. Well, it's really hard to get. It's just very slow. You get like a fraction of it, I think. But you can up that in the settings. Just make random respawns the only option and no need for money. Exactly. But some people want to respawn into sector, which is kind of stupid to begin with, too. It's like you respawn into sector. Somebody kills you, respawn, run over there real quick. Maybe you can get them. Troy still gets fame points for puppet kills, but it's like 1 point per 10 kills. Yeah, it's a fraction. You get like 0.01%. Once one or something from the puppet-like kills. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there is a setting that you can increase your fame points or gained. I don't know if it's 5 the max, but yeah, you can do that. I think I jumped mine up on the last server I did. Fame points are useless now, except to be able to farm or buy car parts. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think fame points need to be more important back in the game again. Maybe in the future, fame points will be useful again. AI NPCs. No, well, that's what I think. I think that the fame points should matter because the more fame you have, the more reputable you are or known or whatever. So that should come with something. Like to get into certain buildings. Yeah. To not draw attention to yourself, maybe also. Like if you get arrested and you can say, "Don't you know who I am?" Oh man, that would be a thing. Do you not know who I am? Look at my fame points, damn it. That's what I'm saying. There should be like a card or something that has. By the way, that's the other thing. Can we talk? Let me back up. Bank cards and a banking system in a freaking prisoner island. Come on, man. Jeez. If I pass out from my lip sting, call 911 and say, "Somewhere in Florida, there's a guy on stream." You never know. All right, let's watch this video. Making big. All right. Context. Ray says, SCUM now faces a struggle to maintain its original vision amidst evolving gameplay mechanics and community expectations. Can the devs save what is to be the greatest survival game of our time? Hope for recovery. SCUM's identity crisis has left players divided. So this is, he put that out there for people to talk about. Now it's a 9-minute video. We're gonna watch it. This is different than what RayKit puts out, but I want you to notice he's very careful not to bash the game.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another SCUM video. I hope we're doing well. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for your ongoing support of the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you so much for your time. Now, this video here is something a little different than I usually do. Now, I'm not here to say bad things about SCUM or anything like that. More just my viewpoints on a few things here that I think really need to be checked.
So, I want to stop there. I know he says he's not here to say anything bad about SCUM. Mentioning things, let's clear this up. I'm sorry, I'm eating at the same time. Mentioning anything that is just not working in the game or that is dividing the player base or whatever is not saying bad things about the game. It's okay. It's okay to mention the things that are, listen, you're not talking bad about a game or don't feel like you're putting them down because you're mentioning the things that are not working. That's why it's in supposedly quote unquote early access. So you should be able to say things without having to put the disclaimer in front. I'm not talking bad about the game. I'm just saying, no, it's all right. You should be able to do that. That's the only way the game gets better. What's up, Hyde? Welcome back. Are you still on vacation or are you back? Wouldn't call it the greatest survival game of all time. Typical RK speak. Nice. It's constructive criticism, for God's sake. I know exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Every time, listen, whenever I put out a video and say, I'm not like, all right, I'm going to shit on SCUM now. All right, guys, we're going to shit on it now. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm saying, I love this game. I've played it for the longest time, but there's some stuff that just isn't cool. It's not working. Let's try to see if maybe somebody listens and fixes it. It's what it is, constructive criticism. Some people love that. It's like saying, I don't mean to offend you, but yeah, those pants make you look big. I mean, I don't know. Oh, you're back. Great. It just means people prepare to be offended, people. Exactly. All right, here we go.
In some ways. Now, I know there have been some videos going around in the SCUM community about hordes and other features with the game. Now, I'm going to talk about the bigger picture here. I'm going to talk more about where SCUM currently is compared to a very long time ago. Now, let's say 0.3, 0.4. SCUM is a very different, is in a very different place right now compared to where it used to be. Now, one of the big things that I kind of wanted to talk about is the identity of where SCUM currently is right now. Now, we know that they have recently been I say recently, over the last year, has been acquisitioned by Jagex, which has been an incredible leap and jump for this company, Gamepires, for the future of the open world survival game and the...
Okay. Then, okay. Gamepire is being bought by Jagex. The biggest leap that is for is two things. Number one, somebody trying to control the narrative or how the game rolls out, which really, if you think about it, without anybody project managing it or whatever, it was going all over the place. We know this. We saw this from 7 point and forward. But the second thing, the reason why it's such a big leap for them is because now we have a company that's going to monetize it and make them money. and show them how to make money because they are good at that. So those are the leaps. As far as like new development and whatnot, that's secondary. All right.
Genre as well, I would say, as I do believe that Game Pies really are at the forefront of open world survival right now for its kind of open world survival. Because there are very many types of open world survival, but this kind, you know, games like DayZ, Miscreated, Scum, there's only very few that are like this, big open world survival. Now,
there's a lot of, never mind. I was gonna say, there's a lot of open world survival games. They all have a lot of things in common. And I know a lot of people say that Scum is on its own level. It's completely a separate game. It's listen, there are some things in Scum that are unique, but it's not compared to what's coming out. There's some games that are coming out now that are going to feel like they surpass Scum. And the only thing that they won't have is the metabolism. That's kind of the way I see it. What's up, Max? I'm going to read your comment in a second. Let me get through this next part.
Find that with Scum, and like I said, I'm not going to be talking just about the puppets, the hordes, and like all these other things. I'm not talking about coming up to 1.0. In fact, I'm not talking about 1.0 in any way, shape, or form in this video, ladies and gents. Now, I know I've kind of been off the trade in talking about some of the things that could be tweaked or fixed with Scum, respectively speaking. But I personally find Scum has a huge identity crisis right now in terms of what it should be. Like, for example, since the traders have been put into this game, 0.8, I think it was. 0.8, the traders were implemented, I think. I find that the traders are overly used. They're not just there to be, you know, utilized every so often. It's almost like we now have to use the traders all the time.
Now, I think that goes to what Brink was saying. Well, we use the traders all the time because you have to make money in order to have the money or the gold in order to respawn. And that's why they're made that way. About puppet spawning, they should be, this is from Max. About puppet spawning, they should be spawning, sleeping inside and outside. Then they can spawn in earlier without hitting more server performance by moving around. Much more immersive than now. So, let me finish. Let me read your second comment, then I'm going to comment on it. Comment and comment. Wake up at the same distance as now, but not if you are moving faster than max running speed. So if a car is driving by, they don't hit server performance. All right, there's a lot to unwrap there. So let me respond this way. Because, by the way, thank you for your comment. I think that at one point, Scum was the spawning system that worked, or at least worked the way I saw it, was you were coming to a town, and if you got a certain meters away, the puppets were already there by the time you got there. Now, you didn't see them spawning, but they were there. And if you had a scope, you could actually look down and see them. Scopes are useless now, you know, when it comes to puppets, because of the fact that they despawn after you leave 50 meters or whatever. So that was great about it. You would roll into it, and I've said this many times. You roll into a town, the puppets are there. In the house, they're sleeping. On the outside, they're just walking around. And that's good. And that was like really good. Like, well, does it make sense for puppets to be sleeping? They're zombies. I mean, I just don't necessarily think they should be sleeping or laying down. I think they should be, well, I know in some Walking Dead shows they are laying down and then they only can become active when you walk in or something. But I think they should just be in a trance kind of way where they're just existing there, and then they react to you when they hear you or see you. And I think, even though their eyes probably don't really work, but let's say they do. So that would be fine. But I think that goes back to the idea of when we were driving up to a, and I don't want to stick to respawning stuff too much because we're trying to watch this video, but when we were driving up to a town, when we got to the town, they were already there. But at some point, they started appearing before we got there. Because what sucks now is like you drive through a town and there's nothing, and then eventually they start popping up. So yes, that does suck. Let me read a couple of these comments before I move over. Jagex is king of microtransactions. Yes, they are. They are a U.S. company. Are they a U.S. company? I thought they were. No. Jagex is a British company, I'm pretty sure. Traders are too easy to overuse. Yes. They can do whatever they like with the microtransaction. I hope they won't touch single player. Yeah, I don't know. They got to make their money somehow. Green Hell does metabolism and disease better, in my opinion. I haven't played that. I've heard things about it. The Scum feels more a survival sim than a game. Yeah, I can agree with that. But I think Ray's right as far as that the traders are just overly used. I mean, they're too dependent on now. All right, let's see what else.
And it's really taken away from the survival of this game. Now, I understand that servers can do certain things to turn off traders. And I promise you now, ladies and gents, by no means in any way is this any self-promotion, but recently I've been playing on a new hardcore server by Pure Scum. So Fozzie's opened up a new server, a server that he wanted to play on a long time ago, but couldn't find one, so he's designed his own server, so to speak. This server really has a ton of fairness to it. Now, there's a lot of things that I've learned with this. In the past, I've been playing on a lot of average servers, even with Pure Scum or my old server RKG and stuff. It's pretty average in terms of the loot. There's a lot of vehicles, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. It's very convenient in a lot of ways. Playing on a server where you cannot spawn unless it's a complete random spawn. No one can spawn on beds. I find this completely fair for both parties defending and attacking. Please forgive me if I am wrong. And I understand that you can actually buy gold for these spawns as well, but I believe it is even more fairer to have no spawns at all. If you die, you are out of that fight. Something that Scum has always had a problem with. Now, this is why I've always found that DayZ's always been a bit more popular. Not just because of the mods, ladies and gents, but because of the way the spawn system works. There is no real penalty. There is no real penalty unless you're getting a random spawn every death. There is no penalty to that, because you parachute back in and, you know, you get straight back in. And that's another thing. Why haven't we got ground spawns yet? Why haven't we got the option to ground spawn? That is something that's very, very huge for me. And I know that a lot of this is going to sound biased, but I'm talking about Scum as a whole here, ladies and gents, all right? Like, with some of the options that we can and can't have within the game. I understand private servers and official servers are very different. But even on official servers, they're set in certain ways, and they're based on survival. To some extent, and this is where this game, I really feel, sometimes loses that survival, especially with the spawn system being one of the big things. The other thing that I think is very, very strange is the fact that we have to buy fuel with a card.
Okay, before we get to that, so I think I really do agree with him when it comes to the whole using money for respawning, because of the fact that we talked about this earlier. It's like it's really easy to make money in the game. I mean, like, watching Brink make money in the game is like, holy crap, this guy's got like thousands, if not almost 1 million, and just money in the game probably. When he goes in, it's like he loots, he just freaking cleans out the place, goes to a vendor, a trader, sells everything, makes money, turns it into gold, puts it away. Now he's able to spawn without any problems. And that really is the way most people are able to play this game. You can make money really easily in the game. But fame is a lot harder to gain, at least right now, on default value. And so therefore, I think that fame should really be considered going back to that system, because of the fact that it's just so much, it makes it worth doing something, not just for money's sake, but for the sake of actually playing the game to get somewhere. Like, when you build your cabin, you're getting fame points as you're chopping down those trees, as you're building things, as you're using engineering. All of that stuff matters. But it's like, it seems like people have gone away from that and have just gotten to the point where it's like, I'm just going to go get a bunch of stuff, make the money I need, buy the stuff that I want, and pretty much that's it. I'm just going to do this really quickly. And if I die, I've got the money to come back right in sector, and I'll be fine. The other thing is, do you remember when they used to be, before you went into a bunker, you would build that little shelter so that if you died, you can spawn right outside in their shelter? I mean, people don't do that much anymore. It's crazy. Don't care the constant drop in to respawn. Said when they implement it, should drop once. They spawn on the ground after death. I don't like the whole falling in as a parachute all the time sucks. They need to have the ground spawns. I mean, it doesn't, you know, when you first start the game, you get dropped into the island. After that, it should just be a ground spawn. I think I understand because it's like it's a clone of you, I guess. That's why they keep dropping it in, but it just makes no sense. I hate though having to fall in every single time. No, absolutely. You can make the settings on the trader high as far as to have your fame up high in order to do that. That is true. It's just in the end, that's all you're really using the fame for. The fame should be for something other than just that. Yeah. All right. So he's going to talk about the bank cards and the banking system and all that, and having to use a bank card to actually get gas. That is so not a survival place, but okay, listen.
Whole credit card system got a lot very confusing for a lot of people and kind of was a bit of a deterrent in some ways. Now it does seem very strange that you're on an island. There's gas stations. I mean, someone said something on my stream the other day. I can't remember who it was in my squad. Said, why don't we bring a generator and a hose pipe to the gas station? And then we can siphon the fuel out of the tanks and stuff like that. Like, that's going to be even more riskier. But having the whole credit card system just seems a bit strange.
If you're in a prisoner island, it's not post-apocalyptic, by the way. It's a prisoner island. If you're on a prisoner island, that's basically it's been abandoned for whatever reason. People have left it, so there's stuff that remains around. That's what you're finding. There's abandoned bunkers and whatever. So people used to live there, but now it's abandoned. It makes absolutely no sense that they have a banking system. It's like, it makes no sense. So I agree with this. It's like the whole, you have to have a credit card in order to get your gas, drive up to the gas station, use your credit card, swipe. No, I mean, that's so stupid. Now, either you just use the gas because it still works because there's electricity, or like he said, like that one player was talking in his stream, can you imagine how great it would be that in order to get gas, you had to figure out how to get the gas out of the gas station, whether it's through a hose, whether it's using a generator to give it electricity, whatever. It is a little bit more complicated and more convoluted, but that would be more of a like sticking with the abandoned prisoner island, not, and hey, what's your credit score? You can get a credit card too. I mean, this is just what it makes no sense. That's never made sense to me. They could do it like a mod in Stalker. You spawn in the base camp, low health, and someone helped you, kind of. I think spawning into your base camp is not good, only because it's kind of like, hey, no problem. If I die, I'm going to spawn in my camp, and I'm going to grab gear, and I'm good to go, and I can start over. You know, there's really not much risk with that, so I don't think it really works that well. I don't think it goes with, it's just, again, it's too easy. Ah, crap, I lost everything. It's all right, I'm at my base. I'm safe now. Why can't you rob the fuel delivery trucks? There you go. Got to be coming from somewhere. Correct. The gas, yeah. All right, let's continue. Oh, not yours? So what base camp do you fall into? Somebody else's, some random person? Hold on, let me read your comment again. They could do it like a mod in Stalker. You spawn in base camp, low health, someone helped you, kind of. Like, yeah, that's too, nah, it's too convoluted, brother. That's crazy. That's too much. They don't know how to do that. They can't even get the freaking respawns right. Come on. That's way... Base camps spread around the map. Who's running these base camps? And they're just sitting there waiting for you to spawn, and they're gonna help you out. You're talking like, if I'm understanding you correct, you're thinking that there's some kind of camps out there. There's spawn camps where you respawn, and it's a medical facility, and and some random hobo person found you. They brought you to their camp. They freaking tended to you, helped you out, gave you food, and set you on your way again. That's what you're thinking. Yeah, no. That's no. Unless they're gonna make those people like killable, and then you can take all their stuff. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But no, I don't see that. That's just not. That's not. It's a prisoner island. If they follow, that would work if they followed the TV producer thing, like neutral camp around the map. I mean, maybe they'll do that with the NPCs that they're bringing in. Maybe they'll have like some NPCs that are neutral and be like, we're just here to help you. Please don't kill us. I mean, that it's possible. I mean, maybe that's what maybe there could be a medical trader that has like multiple nurses hanging out somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I like your idea as far as the concept. I understand it. I like it. The only problem is I have to look at realistically in SCUM for them to incorporate that. It's not going to happen. And not only that, it's like they have to really, I mean, it's too much for them to even manage, I think. There's no way. Anyways, but it's a good thought, man. I honestly think somebody that's out there that's thinking of making a survival game, they should go with that thought. That's a great idea for a survival game. Well, so my understanding now, you spawn in like a new person. What the fuck? That's stupid. Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, they are basically clones. It's basically a clone of you. That's what it is. So yeah. It's all science. Listen, like you said, what the fuck? That's stupid. The whole game is stupid if you really do come down and think about it. I mean, that argument doesn't hold water. The whole game is stupid. That's the problem. All right. SCUM devs like the grind. That's what won't happen. Yeah. All right, let's finish this.
And the fact that, again, the trading system, it's there to be utilized, but people are using that more as a crutch now. Like, they're using the traders very, very often, which I think
traders need to go away.
Taken away the survival aspect of this game. Going to buy going to buy base building parts and stuff like this really has taken away the survival with open world. And I think that with the way that the server I'm playing on now is, and I'm just telling you how I honestly feel, guys, okay? Like I said, there is no promotion. It doesn't need promotion. I'm not in that world. I used to be. I'm not in that world anymore. Promotion sort of sells itself.
He's not promoting anymore? This is news.
But playing on this server has made me realize how unfair SCUM has really been to its player base in terms of raiders being able to set all the beds outside of a raid, prepping, burying chests around the big raids, and stuff like this. People raiding for like 12 hours straight. Like, come on. Like,
I think raiding is all screwed up right now. But yes,
that's ridiculous. Once you're out of that fight,
I'm not interested in raiding though, so I won't talk about it.
Should be out that fight for a very long time before you can get back to that area, and that's why I love the random spawns on death. I just think that is absolutely beautiful in terms of fairness for each other. If you both cannot spawn, like if you die, if you're defending and you die, that's it. You are random spawn. If you are attacking and you're defending, if you're attacking and you die, that's it as well. And I just feel that
I think, okay, so I don't raid. My mouth is still numb. I don't raid and I don't play PvP, so somebody's gonna say that stay in your lane, bro. You don't know anything about that. But what I do know is I do agree with that rating wise, it should be a one-shot thing. It really should be. It should be like you attempted to raid someone. It's almost like, let's call it a dungeon or an instance, but the one that you can only do one time and then it locks out. And if you fail, you get killed, you get explode, whatever the hell happens that you die, you should not be able to just respawn and go and try again. And it's the same thing with the people on the inside that are protecting their area. If you get killed during a raid that you're protecting your whatever you're building, you're not allowed to come back. Now, hopefully you have enough defenses up that they won't be able to get in, but it just basically, you failed. Sorry, there's a timeout. I mean, I kind of get where people that are protecting their place should be able to come back, but I think that if you set your, I don't know, see, this is the thing. If you like flag yourself for, I don't know, if you can't flag yourself, but if there was a way of flagging yourself for raiding and you got raided, whether protecting or attacking, it's a one-shot deal. That's just my idea. It's just really, yeah, like Brink says, it's grossly unbalanced. The answer to any unbelievable respawn system in any game. Clones. Nice. They saw the store-bought servers taking off, so they decided to implement it, but badly. There's a whole history there that I can talk about, but I'm not going to. Like, I know where the whole conversation started with traders years ago. Stalker idea would fix that. I'm not familiar with Stalker, so I can't talk to that. Have a good day, all. All right, Troy, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Sunday, man. I will see you on the next one.
It's just a huge identity crisis in terms of the survival side, and I really, really do. And when it comes down to the spawn system, and there is a question here I want to ask you guys, and please give me what you think, and maybe a reason why. What do you think should happen in SCUM? Do you guys think that there should be the money system to spawn, or do you think it should go back to the fame point system?
I think we've all shared what we think already. I mean, as far as like the fame points is the way to go.
An honest question I'm asking you. For me personally, I really think a fame point system, now that it has matured a lot more than what it was before, I believe that the fame point system should come back compared to having to go to a trader, put money in the bank and stuff like this as well. Now, I understand this can give you more to do, but I've heard more people say they prefer the game without traders than with. Now, I understand it's not all about me and what other people want. It's about what everyone wants. Now, we have to have options. So I don't care about the bias. I don't want to be biased with what I'm saying. I'm just trying to understand where SCUM sits right now, as it does confuse me a little bit when I play the game. So that's an honest question I want to ask you guys, and hopefully you might elaborate and maybe bring up some of the points I've made here, and tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think of this? Now, this video I didn't intend to be
okay. I think we got the gist of it.
Several to 10 minutes long. I only wanted it to be like 5 minutes long. But I want to talk about the real stuff with this. Like, where are we currently sitting with SCUM right now? Like I said, there's more to this game than just certain things. I think the animals, like having the hunting up and the loot very low, really makes you play different. And it really makes you feel survival. Now, most people don't want to play survival, as in they don't want to play low loot, and it's nothing to do with time. I won't take that as an excuse that, oh, I don't have time to play, I just want to play the high loot. Well, you're not playing survival. That's not survival. If you enjoy survival, you'd play 5 hours, maybe find a few things, maybe start a little base, but you're not going to be miraculously at end game after a day.
Okay. Let me stop for a second, because this mental change of his, like this shift in like thinking about the game, comes from him now playing on a hardcore server. It's a different stance because of the fact that he's looking at the game now not so much as PvP and raiding, because that's what he's been for the longest time. Like, all right, guys, we're going to build a base. We're going to build this. Let's go out and we're going to get these people. Now he's looking, because of the fact that becomes boring after a while. Just like PvE on a server that gives you everything becomes boring as well. But hardcore is a whole different type of play style, where you have minimal chance of finding things, where the puppets are harder to kill, or where there's more of them and they hit you damn harder. And that's where now you have to really depend on your survival. Not so much about, oh, I gotta get a weapon real quick and I gotta gear up because there's gonna be somebody out there hunting me. No, now it's like, holy shit, this environment's gonna kill me and I can't find squat. I can't even find a freaking mushroom to eat and get high on or anything. No, and that's the thing. So his new mindset, and like a lot of this video and what he's saying and stuff, is coming from the fact that he has now changed the way he's playing. So he's finally seen the game from not just a PvP standpoint. So maybe we might be seeing a different Ray moving forward. We'll see. We'll see. Because now he's more interested in the survival aspect of the game and playing it where you have to work at it, not just get everything. You can't please everyone. Correct. Nope, you can't. I do miss the puppets chasing the birds. That was fun. I miss the birds. I made a server like that for you, and you yelled at me, laughing my ass off. You mean the hardcore one? No, I remember, because at the time, all right, in all fairness, at the time, I didn't want to spend all stream looking for a freaking item and not getting anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're opening all the freaking boxes and you can't even find a freaking bag. And that, to me, for stream wise, was like, all right, guys, here we go. We're going to open 100 freaking boxes, you know, in an hour, and we're not going to find shit. That was annoying. So that, for stream wise, it sucked. But on an offline playing, like to play like offline and just to have fun, and like, hell yeah, I mean, shit, I can't find anything. Well, that's the game. That's different. I'll give you other examples of that, by the way. Bellwright was the same thing. Bellwright playing by yourself starting out is a freaking struggle. So that's why I broke my game. I need to fix it again. But that's why I looked into mods that would speed certain things up, because streaming that game was like freaking watching paint dry. And I was like, oh my God, this is freaking ridiculous. So that's the different mindset there. All right, let's finish this video. It's almost done.
You know, it's what you
I
want.
do not.
And low loot will force you to use a lot of the crafted items within the game itself as well. So I kind of feel like this game has sort of started off as survival, and because of people screaming and shouting, it's gone over there, and now we can't really sort of see it anymore.
It's gone over there, but you, my friend Ray, was one of the main people that was pushing it that way. You weren't interested in the survival before. Let's be honest. So you wanted the features, you wanted the cool things, you wanted the traders. It's just now that it's only gone that way that you realize the game was more about survival. This is what I said all along. I'll say it again, because I said this years ago, and I'm going to say it again because I've kept saying this. I still stick to this. SCUM is a PvE game that you can do PvP in. It's not SCUM is a PvP game that you do PvE in. Okay, that's the thing. SCUM has always been a player versus environment game first. The second part of that is that it also had PvP in the game. And until you understood that, you were focused on the wrong thing in the game. You were focused only on PvE, acquiring items, getting there as fast as you could, grabbing all the stuff, raiding people, shooting people to steal their stuff, and making a bunch of money and respawning with money and all this stuff, when you missed out on the entire rest of the game that was player versus environment, which was a survival-based game. That's what the problem was. And now that he's seeing the other side, it's like, yeah, this is the game. Why are we doing all this? Yes. Yes. This is what I've said all along.
But survival is very, very important in this game. Very, very important indeed. Now, guys, I just want to create a discussion here, that's all. I just want to see what you guys think as well. So the question I ask you is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the original fame point system to come back, or the spawn system to come back using fame points? Or would you prefer to use the money side of things? That's an interesting one. So, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already on the way out. That really does help the video go out there and the channel as well.
Okay, good. There we go. So, obviously this video it was a day ago. It's already gotten 4.4 basically 4,000 views, and it's not bad, and it's got a lot of response to it. There's a lot of people. I mean, I think I was maybe one of the first to respond. I don't know, I can't remember. I responded immediately after watching it. I watched it the night that he released it. I mean, I think within minutes of him releasing it, because I happened to be on Twitter at that time, and I saw him post about it. And so I wrote the same thing. I kind of read this to you guys already on a different post that I did, but the vision from the original game has changed way too much. From the original support pack, you can find the GDD PDF file, game design document, in the extra folders. And I put in the, how to get to them, basically program files, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's there. That's it right there. So that's how you get to it. And then that lays out the original game design. It's lost its survival essence. The bank card, and traders have changed the idea of it being a prisoner island you have been dropped in to survive. Give private servers the option of turning off all of that as an option. Bring back the regular hunting and birds to find you the meat that you need. And yes, fame points for respawning. Money and gold serve no purpose in a survival type prison island. And we had this, by the way, if you watch this VOD later on again and you watched it before you got here, you will see that we had this whole conversation about currency in the game, what it should be, how it should look, how trading should look. We had a full discussion on that. So I stand behind that. And that's it. So anyways, there's plenty of here. If you're a big follower of RayKit, I think it's one of his more honest videos, but I think you have to look at that he has changed the way he plays the game, which is the reason why these questions are coming up for him now. And that's basically what it is. Nord thinks vanilla loot is hardcore. I do not. Would you stop? Shut it. I bet you at least got 3 bolts. Come on. Yeah, I didn't get anything. Watched it at work yesterday. I work hard. Wait, what did you watch yesterday? Oh, you watched this video yesterday? They need to just go live, open it to the modders, and let them fix it. Yeah. It's true. Modding is going to be the only thing that will keep this game alive. I'm wondering what it's going to be like when 1.0 comes out, how people will respond to it. But yeah, finishing the dev kit would probably be the best way to do it. That's crazy. Man, we did a whole big giant section on SCUM. Look at that. Look at us. Look at us talking about SCUM. It's been how long? How long have I been on? Damn, it's oof. When did I start? I started around 1 o'clock. I don't remember. Or 12 something. Who knows? Crazy stuff, man. All right, we'll talk about something else. I should always stream. I hit the stream button by mistake this morning. I wasn't streaming, but I was looking at my YouTube studio, and then I went to the live section just because I wanted to see if I could read it from the window that I had it up on, and I didn't mean it to do it, but for some reason it sent a notification out letting people know I was streaming, and it had like the old information from like Conan. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not streaming. What the hell? And so Guino and Brink both thought I was streaming, and they were like, hey, man, what the hell? Nice. Post it and get your Nord hoodie in game or a black t-shirt. Shit. Oh, I'll tell you what, man. I saw the SCUM TV, and then like they put a bunch of videos that people have put out in regards to SCUM. And I think that there was an opportunity at some point where they were asking people to submit their videos for consideration to be put on the SCUM TV playlist. I didn't submit anything. I just, here's the thing. It's not like, and I always have to say this. It's not that I don't support the game, because obviously I have supported the game. I have a whole playlist section about the game, not only just talking about it and saying the things that, be aware of or how to, but I've also have gameplay. And for whatever reason, I think a lot of people tend to think that I don't like the game and I just want to like bash on it. And that's not what I do. It's not. You know better. I'm waiting. Right now, not enough has changed for a SCUM server. For a new SCUM server. And to be honest, June is, I usually take some time in June, like, to take a little break And so I don't want to do anything in June that I'm tied to. July might be a good time to start. Maybe if things, depending on what it's looking like, July might be okay. But yeah, June's not a good month for me to start anything. I would like any server you guys put up. I like it because it won't cost me anything. Yeah, I think listen, if you guys open one up next month, I just don't expect me to play in it, right? I'm telling you right now, I won't be playing Scum next month. I won't be jumping back into Scum next month. I just don't see it happening. But I can say that I would be more open to trying it out. And I'm assuming that there's going to be more fixes by then. So I'm assuming that if the fixes are enough of a change to merit me basically starting up again, then maybe July would be the month to do it. So we will see. We will see. Okay. So I saw this. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna bring up. Oh, let me just bring up a couple of things up here. For start, I'm just gonna show you some stuff that I was looking at, and then we will go from there. Is that good? I think that's good. Oh, Twitch. Who's playing on Twitch right now? All right, sorry, I'm just getting things ready back here. Okay. Couple of things. We'll go one at a time. Let's do this one. This one's better. I really wouldn't like a Guino server. Is it going to be really hardcore? I don't know. I think I would like it. I think I need a challenge these days. So check this out. I saw this earlier, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should buy that. This is can I click on it to make it bigger? Yeah, there we go. My motor skills suck today. Okay. So they had this I'm not going to get it. Obviously, it's a brand I've never heard of, but this popped up on my screen because I've been looking at these wide monitors, these freaking ultra wide curved monitors, and I saw this and I was like, no way. This one's like $599. But it's not a brand that I've ever even heard of, and so I'm always iffy about buying stuff like this. And it is curved gaming monitor. It's 49 inches. It says it's 144 hertz, ultra wide 32:9, which is a 49 inch basically. It is huge, but when I think about it, I'm like, I'm sitting in front of my, is this 55 inch curved smart TV. That's what I'm sitting in front of, and that's what I use as my main monitor now. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't need, and by the way, it's like the resolution is like the same thing, except my resolution is like 3840 by something else. I don't know. I got to look. What is my resolution set at? This is basically the way my setup is right now. So this one here, I don't even know where my resolution's at. There it is. 3840 by 2160. So that's what I'm set to. So it basically looks like this. Like I'm running my main big giant TV here. I'm running a 27 inch off on the side. And then right underneath it, I've got another 1440 by something else down at the bottom here. So that's kind of the way I'm running right now. And it works. It's nice. But again, this is not one I'm going to buy because I'm not familiar with this brand. If I was going to buy one, I'd probably buy the Samsung Odyssey one, but I can get it as cheap as maybe $899. but I don't really want to spend it. So I don't think I need it, but it's pretty cool to see. You need to buy mine. It's excellent. Which is the one you have? It doesn't split well, and it's like it likes to reset. The one you're looking at. I mean, yeah, this one, yeah, it doesn't look like it's really gonna be worth it. I just kind of like, I like these monitors. I think they're pretty cool. But right now, I mean, seriously, look at this. Let me close out of here, by the way. I'm not gonna do that. But let's say I could put this here and I could put this here. And there you go. That's good enough. I can actually break this down into 4 if I wanted, and I can have like 4 windows down here. So let's see if I can do this one. I always have trouble doing this one over here. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyways, you get the gist. But I can totally do that, so I can change it up. But this is fine. I don't need any more. Okay, hold on. We're going to watch this. I just got to check the door. Somebody's there. I'll be right back. Okay, the girls are home. So that means my stream's going to be ending soon, but let's go over the stuff I wanted to. So I've been looking at these. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I said this earlier. I really, 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 really want to get back into programming. And I honestly feel like I have not been spending as much time there as I should. So I have been looking online at courses, whether they are free or whether they're paid, and obviously looking at other college courses and things like that as well, or local stuff, because I'm trying to get myself back up to speed. It's just been way too long. And I mean, as much as I understand things and I remember a lot of my coding and stuff, I'm still rusty, and I feel really stupid when I watch this other guy, this guy here. Let me find him. Yeah, this guy here. When I watch this guy, I've been watching him a lot lately. He's friends with what's his name? He's friends with pirate software guy, Thor. And every time I watch his videos and he's talking about code, because he does a lot of software development on them, and he starts talking about programming and whatnot, I feel really stupid. Because he's so freaking like smart when it comes to that. And so I'm like, man, I remember the days when I knew how to do shit. And so it's gotten me on this trip that I want to look for some resources that I can follow. So I'm going to show you a couple that I found before I get going here. Oh, thanks, Ride. Hyde send me something. This is the one you got, the 34-inch. Oh, nice. Yeah, my thing is where to place these things. And so for me, getting something like this, it's like, all right, I'd have to like redo my whole setup. I don't want to do that. I have 3 27-inch monitors that are all like 144 hertz. And I've separated them because I don't need to have all of them in the same place. And I think that the big TV thing, it's a curved TV. It's a 55-inch curve. I think this works well right now for what I need. But if I were to redo my whole system, I probably would get the Odyssey, just because I would want like I want to be able to like just have one big giant monitor in front of me. I don't know. We'll see. But we're not there right now. If there was plenty, yeah. I need a second. See, the one I have a small one right now here in the middle, like that I'm staring at. It's not curved, but it is I think it's a 32-inch ultra wide. And it works great. Like I can put 2 screens next to it, which is if you notice, and I'm looking straight forward and looking down, is because right underneath the main big TV, like I showed you, I have that monitor down here. So I have 2 split screens. I got my Discord on one side, and I've got the freaking live stream on the left, and I can switch in between tabs and kind of like look up stuff. That way I'm not just looking here. Because before, every time I wanted to talk to you and I was looking at the chat, I was looking at the chat over here. And so I kept turning my head. So that wasn't good. I didn't like that. Anyways. All right. We'll talk about setups another time. We really would, we should rate setups. I think that's one of the streams we're going to do. So what I found so far is there is this lecture here. That's what everybody's like, who's that guy? Well, for some reason this guy's putting this up. He's I guess his site is freecode.org, freecodecamp.org. And they put up this Harvard Computer Science 50 class from 2023. It's a full computer science university course. And guess how long it is? It's basically an entire day. That's right. It's one day, 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 22 seconds. It's a lecture. And what this is this is the entire, I'm going to just play.
This is a Harvard
I'm just going to play the beginning of this.
University course taught by Dr. David Malin, and we are proud to bring it to the Free Code Camp YouTube channel. Throughout a series of lectures, Dr. Malin will teach you how to think algorithmically and solve problems efficiently. And make sure to check the description for a lot of extra resources that go along with the course.
Okay, so I'm going to... All right, I'm going to stop there. So basically what this video is an entire class of the full course of CS50 from Harvard. And you'll notice like the first one is, and by the way, I think they have timestamps. Yeah. So here's the timestamps right here. It's a lecture on Scratch. Lecture 1 is on C, and you'll notice here it starts 2 hours is the first one, 2 hours is the second one. The other ones, they're all like 2 hours long about. Lecture 2 is arrays, then algorithms, then memory, data structures, Python, SQL, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Flask, emoji, and cybersecurity. So that's like it's over a full day worth of a video, of lectures. And on top of that, it also has some other down here, how to join CS50 communities. There's communities here, whether it's Discord, whether it's Facebook, whether it's whatever. There's all these. And then also, there was a couple other things I saw. Where is it? There's the licenses, some music. Okay. And basically, it's an entire course. Now, I'm going to watch this in the next week. Obviously, I'm not going to watch this on stream because I'm not going to be on for 27 hours straight, however many it is. That would be interesting. But I'm going to watch this entire thing. And I think it's probably going to take me a week. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's probably going to be taking me a full, 7-day week, maybe. I don't know, maybe shorter. But each one is like 2 hours. So it's probably going to take me a full week. At least. So I want to see what this is like. It's free. It's just my time. And that's good. Now, there's something else that I did see, which is this one. And I was going to run this real quickly and see. This it will take 2 minutes. This is another site called boot.dev. And you sign up with your Google account. Basically, it's starts off as free. You can actually probably pay for this. But the first thing is 7 steps. Let's go ahead and run this. I'm just going to run. Are you going to do it with me? You're going to watch that course with me? Nice, man. Wait. There's Free Code Camp. Has pretty good resources and videos. Really? Okay, cool. I'm going to check that out. I will not, but I'll support you wholeheartedly. Cool. So I'm thinking I'm going to watch this. I want to know about that video. So we're going to do that. Let's do this together right now. We can be study buddy, accountable partners. Dude, I totally am into that. And I want to take that other Coursera. Let me find it. What's that other course that we were talking about? I definitely want to do this. Did you start doing this already? Let me find it. It's, is this it? Ooh, that's bright. Okay. This one. I totally want to do this. Did you do this? Did you start this? This is the Meta Front-End Developer Professional Certificate. Because I know we talked about doing this, and I don't know if you started it yet or not, but I'm definitely gonna start it. Yeah, front end dev from Meta. And then it covers like everything from introduction to front end development, programming JavaScript, version control, HTML, CSS in depth, the React basics, advanced React, principles of UX, UI design, front end developer capstone, and coding interview preparation. Now, I am familiar with, I'd say, probably half of this stuff, if not more. But it doesn't hurt to see this as a whole. I haven't started on finishing a Figma advanced course first. Okay, cool. I am willing to diversify my papers. I will let you both do my homework. Oh, man. You can do it with us. There you go. I will not, but I will support you both wholeheartedly. Nice. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Brinks. I'm definitely going to watch that video this week, starting probably today. So I'm going to start that one today, and I expect to be done with it by next Sunday. That's going to be the idea. But then, after we do that one, that's this one. After we do that, that should give you time to finish whatever Figma class you're doing right now. And when you're done with the Figma one, or even if you're done this week, and you're ready to start this Meta front-end developer one, let me know. And that way we can start this one together. And then I'll just give a review on these, and kind of what I picked up, what I learned, whether they were worthy or not. So it's gonna take me a week. So I'll do a video afterwards, or a stream. By the way, these streams are podcasts. Did you know that? The coffee chat ones are all podcasts. That's what they are. But anyhow, hopefully more people will start watching them. And so we'll do that. I have zero code experience, just a heads up. No, it's fine. I can help you and you can help me. I'm gonna help you with that side. But this is I think this will be fun. I cry every time I look at it. My textbook will make you both cry. Oh no, what textbook are you doing? So we'll do that. That's the plan. So we'll start this one this week. Starting today, I'm gonna do that. And then when you're ready to do this one, let me know. Because I need to start this one like ASAP. I might even start this one this week also, to be honest. So maybe I'll get ahead, and that way when you come into it, I can help you. I want to do CS class 2 though. I can't finish the Figma course at night. You can finish it at night? Okay. Well, do whichever you think. Just let me know. We talk on Discord a lot, so just let me know. Okay, let's try this one before I have to go. I got 2. This one says it takes 2 minutes. So this one is called Boot Dev. Let's see if I can find the original page so I don't have to leave it. So Boot Dev is career path back-end developer. Now, this is really cool too. So this has a lot of other information. I'm going to look at this a little more. I don't know if this one costs money. I think it does. So we would have to see. But let's try this. So this is an example of it. Write some code. Okay, here we go. So the gray run button. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, I want to make this bigger so you guys can see what we're doing. Okay. The gray run button will run code. The blue submit button runs. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, that's fine. We know this. Struggling. Boots of master code casting and happy to ask me. And no. Okay, whatever. What am I doing? Ask Boots a question. Oh, so this is am I supposed to do this? Is this the first? Okay, ask Boots a question. What are we doing? XP for this lesson reduced by 50%. Why? I didn't do anything. What are we doing? I see you're just started. We're about to dive into the learning Python by building a text-based adventure game called Fantasy Quest. The first step is ready for you. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to just do this. Okay, I got it. So run. Welcome to the fantasy game and submit. Okay, perfect. That's all we had to do for that. I earned this. I accept that. Okay, perfect. Let's move on. So then the next one says the combat system in Fantasy Quest isn't working as intended. It appears that players are gaining health when attacking instead of losing it. Fix the math bug on 3. Okay, let me make this a little bigger. You probably can't see that. So 3 says health after attack equals player health plus sword damage. Oh, that one's bad. Boot dev is paid. Okay, and we'll see. What am I doing? Okay, so it's not plus sword damage. It should be player's health minus sword damage, because when the player gets hit, it's going to take away the sword damage. Sword damage is equal to 10. Therefore, it'd be 90. That is correct. Let's run it. And now it's 90. That is correct. See, there you go. And by the way, just so you understand what's going on here, this is a variable. This is a variable. They're both like integers, so they hold a value. This one of 10, this one of 100. Here's another variable. And this variable equals the player health minus the sword damage. Those two numbers is just it's just one of those calculations. And then at the bottom, it just prints the health. It's just printing that. So that's what you're getting there. Okay, submit. We got that one. Look at that. We're flying, man. We're flying. That hurts my brain. Nice. Okay, the console. The console is a panel that displays important messages. We know this. You'll learn more about functions later on, but for now, just know that the print function will print anything you put in parentheses. Yes, we know. Okay, so you need to tell our new player how to move. Print the following text to console. So this is easy. All we have to do is write print, which is a function, and I believe we just have to do parentheses and then write oops. So we're just gonna use the arrow keys to move. Okay, there we go. We'll just do that, and then we should be able to run that, and it's going to show it there. That's correct. And we submit. That's easy. There you go. I'm done. That was very simple. But, you know, if this is a paid one, I don't think I want to do it. I'm only going to do Coursera as a paid one. Let me find Khan Academy. For you guys that were ever interested in this, we used to use this. I used this as a teacher for kids before. And this was great because it had a lot of, except all cookies. It had a lot of good things. Why can I make this bigger? It's not letting me. Okay. But it had a lot of interesting things like math, reading, life skills, science. It had test prep, computing, arts and humanities, economics, math, Florida best, whatever that is, and partner courses. All right. So it had all these different subjects. And one of the ones I used it for was for computing for kids. And what's great is that they have an intro to computer science through Python. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is free. And so kids can actually do this on their own, and it starts really easy. And they can just do program platform. Okay, program execution. I think you start from here. Next article. I'm just trying to say next. Okay, so then you do the challenge. And it's the same kind of idea, if I'm not mistaken. It just seems to be, looks really weird. Can I get rid of this, please? Thank you. All right, there it goes. And so here, it's just like the other one. Obviously, I'll make this bigger so you can see it. But it's just like the other one. It basically gives you the challenge. Here's where you write the code. And then you run the code, and it appears on the end here on the console. It's definitely fun to do for kids. And there's a whole like section for this. So Khan Academy is really good. There's another one called, I think it's code.org. And years ago when this started, I thought this was another great program. When this started, this was all about getting all kids into coding because they felt that problem solving is something you can use in everything, which I agree. And so they had the hour of code, and you could try for an hour. And like, I'll do that for a second. So if you do hour of code, and it tells you, and every kid should do whatever, blah, 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 and you can try it. So let's see if I can actually do it. So you can host an hour, explore activities. Let me see if I can find one. NASA's Space Jam. What is that? Yeah, so they have all these little little things. Let's get started. I'm just curious what it looks like. Okay, so it's like Scratch. That's pretty cool. So you create a background, you drag and drop, and then it creates the code for you. Yeah, I remember this. Anyways, it's another great place, especially if you have little ones and you want to get them into computer science. I think Hour of Code or code.org is another good one to use, like I said. And Khan Academy still excels as one of the places to really get some information. But that's all free, which is great. Unfortunately, this one, boot.dev, costs money. So if I were to enter this course, how much money is it? Wait a minute, I can go in. Can I go in? Give me a second. Oh, I wonder if this is the same thing. Let me go forward. I'm gonna see variables. Is it gonna tell me I have to pay? If it gives me information, I'm sorry. If it gives me like my personal, oh no, wait, is this free? Oh no, there's pricing right here. Become a member. Okay. So you see, and that's the thing. It's like, well, you know, you could do it if you want. It's an annual membership, $29 or $348 a year. Let me tell you, this is a lot cheaper than taking a bunch of different courses in college for that year. It definitely is. So this is definitely cheaper. If you wanted to learn some programming and some coding, there's a lot of these programs that are like this. They're anywhere between $200 to $350 a year, which usually, look at this, traditional university, $26,000 a year. It is. I don't think it's $26,000. That's not right. But I mean, I've taken courses over the past couple of years. I've taken it for a different degree, and I can say that every semester I'm probably spending around $2,000. So I would say, yeah, like $4,000 to $5,000. It's good though. All right, let me finish up. But I definitely am going to do these courses this week. I'm going to start them. Let's go to full cam. I'm going to get ready to kind of get to the end here. I have a fun little coding app on my iPad called Mimo. Also paid though. A little bit is going to starter coding camp this summer. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, listen, if you've got little ones or, you know, nephews or grandkids or kids of your own, there's nothing wrong with putting them in some kind of coding. And I've seen people doing like Minecraft camps also. That's not bad either. It's not just about playing. I mean, I've seen some Minecraft books that you can learn a lot in. So it's all programming. Just get them started, whatever it is that they like. Just get them coding. And by the way, Python is a great language to learn. So even starting there, that's fine. And it can, you know, you can make it as basic as you want. Hold on. Like here's two examples, just out of curiosity. There's this book, which is Fundamentals of Python. Okay, so you can data structures. So you can go through something that's serious like that. Let's say this is actually a textbook. Or you can find things like this, the complete manual. And online, there's so many resources that you can just do it. And to be honest, like a lot of the programs I run for AI, they run off of Python. And that's pretty cool. Like I have one that runs a local ChatGPT, and it runs on Linux, and it runs through Python. And then there's another one. This is so skinny. And then there's another one, like my Stable Diffusion for AI art generation. It runs off of Python. So honestly, it's a good language to know. Anyways, Mimo. I've never heard of Mimo. Is it called Mimo? M-I-M-O? That's the app. Let me find it. I'll be Mimo app. Learn to code. HTML, JavaScript, SQL, Python, Node.js, and React. All good stuff. Is it paid? Is it one like fee or for the app, or do you have to pay like a monthly fee? Full stack development, front end development. I would be, based on what I know, and I was more business applications, I would be considered a full stack developer because I know back end and front end. Front end developer, Python, HTML. Use a free version? Okay. Yeah, I'll check this out. I'll put this on my iPad. I'm curious because like I want to see, like I really need to brush up on Python. So Swift. Oh, I remember I tried to learn that. That was a long time ago. That's one of Apple's languages. Well, lots of stuff to learn here. Oh, look at that interface. That's a beautiful interface. Speaking of interfaces and everything, Brink has been working on his web design stuff on his portfolio, and it's looking really good, by the way. So he's getting up there. All right, guys, I think that's it. I'm running out of steam. It is Sunday. It is 3:27. This is the afternoon time. I hope that you are going to be relaxing for the rest of the day. We do have our regular, we're regularly scheduled for our Monday coffee chat. Depending on what's going on, it should stay on schedule. I mean, unless something else comes up. So hopefully I'll have something to talk about, or we change it to a let's play. We will see. But either way, I have changed these in our channel. If I can go to my channel for a second. Yeah. Okay. In our channel now, the coffee chat section is now considered a podcast. So it says coffee chat with Nordwolf. So that's all of the coffee chats are now under podcast, which I think is great. And that way they'll all be in there every episode. If in case anybody starts watching, they can see it from there. I have gone through and I've actually really cleaned up the way that the channel looks. So it's easier to find things. Things are in order. Everything is there. SCUM's there. You name it. So good stuff. So, hey, if you know any friends that are interested in watching this crazy guy right here, you know where to send them. All right, guys, have a great afternoon. Remember, do something that you enjoy doing. Make yourself happy. That way other people around you would be happy. But don't hurt anybody else or yourself in that process, okay? Just do safe things. Safety is the key word here. Cheers, all. Nord, let's watch Party CS videos later. Cool, man. If you're interested, I'll do it because I'm definitely gonna do it today. Let me check with the family, see what's going on, and I'll figure out what time's gonna be good, and I'll check with you. So until next time, have a great one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very, very soon. Until then, I'm out. Peace.